Cows are citizens of Nigeria and should be protected, according to northern senators. Some senators from the north want the Senate to pass a bill for cows in Nigeria, saying that cows are also citizens of Nigeria and should be allowed to do whatever they want. Zoological Republic of Nigeria indeed. This is really laughable. Watch the video.
Cows are not citizens of Nigeria.
So, Mr. President, cows are not citizens of Nigeria, but
you didn't hear what I said. Senator Aleru, are you arguing with me?
No,
I said cows are not citizens. The section you are referring to is talking about citizens of Nigeria.
Yes.
And cows are not citizens of Nigeria.
Cows
can come in from Niger. They can come in from Chad, anywhere. But cows are not citizens. So, your point of order is noted, but rejected. You want to make contribution on the debate? Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. But I'm against the idea of restricting movement of Nigerians from one state to another.
No, that would not happen.
Right now, citizens of Nigeria are allowed to move from one state to another to establish business without any hindrance whatsoever.
It affects everywhere in Nigeria.
Yes.
Nobody can restrict
pastoralists
movement.
are citizens of Nigeria. They can move to north central, northwest, northeast, south, and establish their business without.
They can do so, but not with AK-47.
Yeah. No. I'm not talking about criminals.
You don't understand.
Yes.
You just noticed something. I'm saying that we are going to a portion that says that brings about restriction. So, and I want to refer that to Senator Sam. He has to delete that part. So let's not deviate from the debate.
Let me conclude my contribution. Let me conclude, please. It's a private business. Government has no business going into ranching. Even the cattle route, which Senator Karimi mentioned, used to be the practice when we had 19 northern states as one state under northern Nigeria. And then that was the time when we had cattle route, beginning from maybe from Sokoto up to Lokoja. But now, the states have been balkanized into 19 states. Northern Nigeria has been balkanized into 19 states. And each state has control of its land. So you cannot really bring the issue of cattle route for now. It is not applicable at all because it touches on the territorial integrity of some states. Some states will not allow it. So ranching should be seen as a business, and government has no business going into it. And perhaps when we go to the public hearing, this will become very, very clear. So I rest my case, Mr. President.
Thank you. And this is for the whole country, or are you proposing a bill for some states? Please go back to your seat. You can only talk from your seat. You can't talk from here.
Guide it.
Proceed. Read Order 42.
Order 42 says, by the indulgence of the Senate and the leave of the President, a senator may make a personal explanation, although there may be no question before the Senate, but no controversial matter may be brought forward, nor may debate arise upon explanation. The terms of the proposed.
Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. What I'm saying no, is to support that.
The Senator Lalong.
Yes.
He says that the senator will have. Let's look at that Order 42 again.
Sir.
So let's see.
You've agreed that I wanted to guide this Honorable Senate that this matter I have been part of this agitation for a very long time. But I will be surprised that up to now, we don't know some of the impediments towards realizing issues to curb farmers-headers clashes. Apart from the Constitution, like Senator Alero said, the ECOWAS protocol is part of the problem that we have. You can quote the Constitution, but what about the ECOWAS protocol? It allows you to move anywhere with your business, it allows you to move anywhere with your cows. So in getting towards realizing this, you must be very conscious of your laws in the nation, because you are not making a law for your state. You are making a law for the federation. The National Livestock Production Scheme was introduced under the Vice President. Everything was packaged, but some states refused. Some states even refused ranches. So this matter requires good consideration. I agree with the bill, but then we need to be very careful in getting towards even the second debate, so that we have a community of opinions, we have consensus on how to go about it. That will be also, yes, I said it, it has to also go out to the West African neighbors. Otherwise, you will say you don't want them to come in. They will also say they will not want you to go into their own environment. And that is the information I wanted to put, Mr. President, sir.
Thank you. Oh, Senator Kawu?
Yes, sir.
After you,
Yes,
no more debates.
Okay, thank you, sir. Representing Kano South Senatorial District, Mr. President from Kano. Mr. President, quite all right, I listened to the mover of this bill attentively. And from my understanding, and from what I believe, and from what is in our hand, between the content of his debate and the bill, there is serious contradiction. And the content of his lead debate, or what he presented to the Senate today, totally is against Nigerian Constitution, which we are practicing now. Mr. President, this is a very sensitive and serious matter. It is very sensitive and serious matters. It's beyond most of our thinking. I align myself with your position. You talk as a leader, and what you propose to us, I think, is a solution of this problem. It is a constitutional representation. We are representing people, and based on the Constitution of Nigeria, I am totally against this bill, and it will not resolve the current challenges we are facing. It will compound our problem. You cannot in any way make a law for a particular section to protect some part of the country. Mr. President, I repeat it, I align myself with your position, and I am advising the leadership of this Senate. I am advising the leadership of this Senate, based on what you propose to us, based on your ideas, based on your experience. You are part of the and parcel of the leadership of this country for over almost 3 decades. Let the leadership come up with something very comprehensive, which protect the interests of each and every person in Nigeria. But going by this bill, it will compound our crisis in Nigeria. Some people close their eyes on what is going on, or what lead herders to go against farmers. There is so many issues which we need to attend. Mr. President, we used to see where herders and their cattle are pursuing, killing them, destroying their property from some part of the country, which is against the Constitution. We cannot resolve this issue if we are sentimental. We need to be serious. We need to know that we are doing representation. And most of this issue is to do with the Constitution. And if we are altering the Constitution or amending the Constitution, we need the consent of each and every person in Nigeria. I commend your foresight, and I align myself with some of the submission of Senator Steve, two from North Central. But actually, Mr. President, the lead debate or this bill, in line with what he proposed to us, it is contrary against the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and we are not going to support it. We will fight it to the end, Mr. President. Thank you.
To be very circumspect in our attitude to this lead debate, because the issue of ranching, cattle routes, and the rest of them have been in the front burner of national discourse in this country. Mr. President, I want to say here that the Constitution is not only made for one person, and that in contributing to debates of this nature, we must put national interest in focus. What we are witnessing here in the second reading of this bill is a fulfillment of one of the procedural requirements of lawmaking. There are other levels. We have the public hearing that will come, that will bring out the details of the law, where everybody will be invited to make contributions. We have not reached that stage. We also have a presidential assent that is required. We have not reached that stage. So I think that having agreed that this bill is very important and germane to our national situation now, I think that even those who are complaining about certain sections of the lead debate concede that they are not opposed to the bill. I therefore want to suggest that we allow the second reading of this bill to be committed to the relevant committees and for public hearing to be conducted, where all relevant stakeholders will be invited for them to make their contributions. At the end of the day, we'll get a bill that will make a law that will be acceptable to all Nigerians. I so submit, Mr. President.
Senator Babangida, you have a point of order. But just before then, let me correct myself. When I said that cows are not citizens, I may be right in that regard. But what the Constitution is talking about is movement of persons and properties. And therefore, that is corrected. So cows are properties owned by citizens, and they have a right to be moved from one point to the other. Senator Babangida, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, the Senate President and the Chair of the session. I'm Senator Babangida, who sees Fulani farmer conflict in Journal of Humanitarian and Social Services, Volume 8, Number 1 of 2020, dealing with the issue of Fulani farmer-herder clashes. The dimension to the crisis, Mr. President, has a lot of multifarious issues around it. And I think it is better for us to look at it from those dimensions. If we confine it to just movement cannot be enforced constitutionally because we have so many protocols. I refer to what distinguished Senator Lalong said regarding the ECOWAS protocol for free movement of goods and services within the West African sub-region. Secondly, we have the constitutional freedom for people to move from one place to the other without let or hindrance. Thirdly, and most importantly, the universal human rights has given everybody the right to move around. But the criminality around the pastoral herder conflict is the issue we should isolate and deal with. And I think this same Senate had approved a national conference to discuss extensively on the issue and proffer solutions so that we can move forward to avoid these problems. So I remember Senator Karimi, who was with me, had started consulting and engaging prominent Nigerians who have insight and knowledge on this problem to partake and to contribute to this discussion. So I think let us be open-minded about this. We are Nigerians, and we should not make any law that will affect one part of Nigeria to the detriment of another part of Nigeria. All of us here have a stake in this country, and we must all work together to make peace and to make sure that this issue is brought to the fore. I have no issue with the bill. The bill is well intended, but there are so many dimensions that we have to look at before we can arrive and bring about an acceptable law that will deal with the issue of the criminalities around the Fulani farmer-herder conflicts. I thank you so much for the opportunity, Senate President. Thank you, sir.
So, Senator